When my sanity returned, the king said concerning God that his rule is everlasting and his kingdom is eternal. All the people of the earth are nothing compared to him. He does as he pleases among the angels of heaven and among the people of the earth. No one can stop him or say to him, "What do you mean by doing these things?" This was the account of a former king of ancient Babylon, whose name was Nebuchadnezzar. When Nebuchadnezzar's sanity returned, he conceded that God is the only one who deserves glory and honor. King Nebuchadnezzar learned this the hard way, that God rules and he is in control. You see, prior to this, King Nebuchadnezzar, in his man-made power, which was allowed by God to be the ruler of a great kingdom, and by his own power, Nebuchadnezzar declared that he had built this beautiful, majestic city of the world called Babylon. And by his own words, he said, "I rule and command. Yes, great is my rule in human society." And it gave him pleasure and honor to sin and to do what was right in his own eyes. The scripture gives a record of how Daniel, a servant of God, even as a young boy, was called into the presence of Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar asked of Daniel to decipher the dream that this Nebuchadnezzar had. Daniel alerted him that King Nebuchadnezzar, stop sinning and do what is right. Break from your wicked past and be merciful to the poor. But this king refused the advice of Daniel. Because this king refused this advice and continued in his evil ways, God had to punish evil. God's judgment was this on this king. For 7 years, Nebuchadnezzar, you would eat grass in the fields like a cow. It is recorded that King Nebuchadnezzar would do this until he had learned that God is the most high over all the kingdoms of this world. And it is God who gives kingdoms to anyone he chooses. Until you learn this lesson, King Nebuchadnezzar, you will live like an animal. The scripture said that Nebuchadnezzar's hair was so long as he grazed and lived like the animal that his hair was even as long as eagle feathers, and his nails were like bird claws. My question is this to you: does God have to make you eat grass like a cow before you learn your lesson?